Whenever I sign my book, I write, let us remember we are not our circumstances. And what does that mean? And what's my system for dealing with that? That's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're talking about a system that I have to overcome victim mentality, and it's kind of powerful, I'd say. And actually, it's how I coach all of my clients across the board because it's simple, it's easy, and it's how we overcome struggles, which are going to happen. It's not if, but when. So you could easily say, I have been through so many struggles. I went through a 14-year custody battle. I was married to a narcissist, divorced, and he married a narcissist in return. And no judgment there. It is what it is. And I can't say that I'm judging him because actually we all possess narcissistic tendencies. And this episode, this podcast is not about narcissism. It's about mindset. I talk about mindset, habits, fitness, and reality creation definitely more than I talk about victim mentality. Why? Because I learned a very long time ago that victim mentality does not serve you. In fact, if you get stuck in victim mentality, what happens is you become a victimizer and there's a victim. And think about it. Have you ever watched an argument where you see two people getting into an argument about something and someone's a victim and they're being yelled at and then they yell back at the other person so they become the victimizer and it's an endless cycle. The only way out is to become a victor, or some people would call it become the better person. And again, this episode and this podcast is not about victim mentality. It's about one thing. It's about having a growth mindset because that fixed mindset is stuck in victim or victimizer. And I have a process that I coach, and I'm a fitness trainer. I've been a fitness trainer for 20 plus years. I've seen countless clients succeed with this process. And it's very powerful and very impactful. And it comes down to a system that has 4 P's. I'll make it easy for you to understand. We start with prioritize, we plan, we practice, then we prosper. So, what does that mean, Kathie? I'm so glad you asked. So, prioritize. Whenever I start my coaching process with anybody, including and especially myself, I prioritize what's important. I put it into my Google Calendar, from things down to when I'm going to go live on my Instagram channel, when I'm going to record these podcasts. Now it's become a habit, but let's say I'm working on a goal, which is all I coach. If you found today's episode helpful, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell so you never miss a video from me. All right, back to the episode. I coach working towards a goal. We have to prioritize what's important because what's happened is we've got sucked into bad habits and we want to get out of the bad habit and create a good habit. We stack the habits on top of each other, on top of things that we're already doing. That's a priority. And that is exactly how you're going to succeed. So the next P is plan. How are you going to plan this? Put it into your Google Calendar, Kathie. That's exactly what I do. On Sundays, I sit down with my Google Calendar and I plan out my week. Sometimes I get down to the funny details about what we're having for lunch at OcuSoft. I put that into my calendar because I want to see if I'm going to be eating the meal or I'm going to eat a salad or I'm going to eat somewhere else. I know that's kind of weird, but that meal, my lunch, is usually my biggest meal of the day. And I prioritize my eating habits over whatever else is going on in my world because that's important. That's a fitness thing. That's a mindset thing. So that's a planning thing. And then I talk about practice. practice, practice, practice. You have to practice planning. You have to practice your workouts. You have to practice what you're doing at work and where your priorities are. It's all about practice. Remember, let's go back to something important. I coach sports psychology because sports intrigues me, because sports people get into the flow. Oh, speaking of flow, that is the zone. And here's the thing, when you prioritize flow, let's go back to the first P, prioritize. When you prioritize flow, things just come easy. They come easy. So, one thing that I find very, very impactful in life and during times of stress is gratitude. Gratitude will shift your mindset in an instant. In an instant. For example, I spent many, many Christmases alone, probably about 8 or 9, until I met my boyfriend and his family. And then now I don't spend Christmas alone. I have a family, but I found a place where I could find gratitude for the moment that I had. Back in 2007, I started Kathie's fitness blog. And when I did that was, guess what? On Christmas Day. So when Kathie's fitness blog gets charges, it gets charged on GoDaddy. It is on Christmas Day. And I will never, ever change that because that's a reminder to me, hey, Kathie, look what you did. You changed your life. And it wasn't until 2014 that I met my boyfriend. So I went 7 years alone on Christmas. And it's a powerful, profound change that I went through, and I put gratitude as a priority. So I was grateful for the day. And guess what? Christmas is just another day. People put too many attachments on it. What you are attached to can get taken away from you in an instant. But when you shift that attitude to gratitude, even for that attachment, yes, I'm attached to the people that I love right now, but I'm grateful for them. I'm really attached to my dog, but I'm grateful for the time that I have had with him because I've had 11 years of awesome time with him. And I know he's going to go because your dog doesn't live forever like we do, even though I tell him he has to, but I'm not attached to that. I'm grateful for the time I've had, which has been incredible, and I can let go when it comes time to let go. So that is practice. And practice is probably the most important in here because it's going to take practice to build a habit that sticks. It's just going to take practice. But here's the thing, the final P is prosper. Because when you do all of the P's, the 3 P's before that, then you're going to prosper. And then, my friend, is where the magic happens. Synchronicities start to come into place. Things start happening out of nowhere. You know, I listen to Abraham Hicks and I love how she says it takes 17 seconds of focus to change a thought and change it to something that's going to work for you instead of against you. So let's go back to the beginning where we talked about the victim-victimizer cycle. Let's get out of victim. Let's practice these 4 P's. What are they? They are prioritize, plan, practice, and prosper. All right, so the 4 P's are prioritize, plan, practice, and prosper. I can't tell you how this changed my life and how it impacted the way I look at things and the way that, those things that happened to me were bad. And guess what? I'm not my circumstances, and neither are you. Instead, change that mindset from a fixed mindset that thinks, oh no, I'm a victim, and change that to where you end up prospering. All right. I trust that you found today's episode helpful. If you know somebody who can benefit from it, please share it with them. And until next time, I will see you next time. Peace out and namaste.